Well, hello, my beautiful YouTube people. I just wanted to kind of let you know what's about to happen in this episode because I am currently in the middle of like 3 projects. Cue the next phase of the trailer. And I just wanted to take a moment and let you know I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between projects, renovations on every level, and then a major extreme one that not necessarily everybody is going to do. So today, you guys get a very budget-friendly weekend refresh of a laundry room for a dear friend of mine. Let's get to it. As mentioned previously, we're just going to take it easy today with a simple refresh. And with this laundry room, obviously it is outdoors, it has metal and wood, and there's not going to be too much that I'm going to be covering up since it is an outdoor shed, but that doesn't mean you can't add a little bit of detail to take it a long way. Fun little fact for you guys you may not have known is I have not owned a washer and dryer since being out here for over a year now. I love going to my friend Jade's house because it gives me not only an excuse to be neighborly and then sit and help her because she is helping me, but also just to spend time with her because I love her so much. But one thing is that this laundry room is a little sketchy at night and scary. So I just want to give it some life as well for myself. The first thing that I like to do, and if you are new here, this never changes for me. The first day is always cleaning and assessing and measuring. And legitimately, I will not let myself do anything else because the amount of design ideas that happen just within a couple of hours of measuring and sitting out and figuring out the functionality of a room, specifically with a space as small as this, I just dedicate it to assessing and getting my head around the idea of what I want to do. I think the first couple things that you can notice are the back shelf could be a little bit beefier and just give you some more space and have more storage. And then that door is just so blank. So that is an area we can add personality and also some functionality too. I decided to paint the back of the door the same exact pink that is her house. And then you can't see it, but to the left where her garage is, the trim color is this really beautiful, like rosy deep pink. And that is what I am trimming it out with. So if the door is ever swung open, it is going to blend in to the exterior. When I am working with a budget-friendly makeover, I will also visit my Dollar General, which is out here in the desert, and just kind of see what items they have available. The shelf that I am currently hanging, I spray painted the black metal blue. Again, that is another color that is playing on the outside of Jade's house. And also I picked up a couple other items that you'll see later that are all the storage and all the containers that I am using for this makeover, as well as this broom. I know we're having a lot of fun, but I'm gonna take a quick second to tell you about today's sponsor, HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep, and that comes in real handy here in the desert. I'm not sure if it's me just getting older, but I truly do love having a home-cooked meal every single night if I have the time to do so, and HelloFresh makes that doable for me, even with my crazy lifestyle. You can let HelloFresh cut out the stress with 50 weekly menu and market items to choose from, and on top of that, it's just gonna help you get out of your recipe rut if you're guilty of that like myself. I am a single lady out here in the desert, so I get the service for 2, but that still allows me to box up some for myself the next day, for even my friend Jade to surprise her for lunch, and for some right now because your girl is hungry. If you guys are interested in giving HelloFresh a go, you can actually head over to HelloFresh.com and use code MET16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. You heard that right, folks. You can head over to HelloFresh.com and use my code MET16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. Now, let's take this lunch over to Jade's and wrap up this makeover for her, shall we? Let's get into the nitty gritty, shall we? The details. And something that I've made the mistake of before with budget-friendly laundry room makeovers is DIYing a quote-unquote temporary backsplash that isn't really temporary or easily accessible to remove if you need to reach behind the washer and dryer. Jade has macrame playing throughout the interior of her main home, so I started to bring that element out here. Also, putting it on a curtain rod, these macrame things that I found off of Amazon that I will link down below for you, it just gives you the ability to push them apart and get directly to what you need to, versus everything else I have done before that just makes your life a pain if you need to access the pipes. Easiest backdrop and easiest to move if you need to work on it. Now we need to shelf it, so that seams, and it looks like one big piece. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, so this shelf is fully functional. You can adjust it, and honestly, it is the perfect size for this space. So what I wanted to do is just cap it with some OSB that I bought over at Home Depot and maybe add some length to it, but still utilize it as is so she can adjust it if needed, take it off again if she needs access. Let's upgrade this. You will see me cutting down two things. The pegboard is going to be for the side slivers you will see in the reveal that are on the wall of the door that we painted. And the second item you see me cutting down is some OSB that comes in 2x4 sheeting over at Home Depot. I just bought one sheet of that. I definitely made the top of the shelf deeper and a little bit wider, and then the front of the shelf obviously just looks nicer being OSB. I do have to mention I didn't record going underneath and taking 2 pieces of scrap wood and just tacking them into place with that nail gun as well to make sure that it doesn't shift and shimmy with items on top of it. Although this is outside, that still doesn't mean that it can't be cute, so I carried that macrame theme through to the storage and opted to use different glass containers as different laundry detergent, stain remover, softener holders. I decided to switch up Jade's organization from one big bin to 2 smaller. The left-hand side is going to be dedicated to laundry, and the right is the cleaning and some of her jacuzzi supplies for outdoor. So she's not going to use this right now, but it's always a nice option to add pegboard where you can, because if she wants to use it for gardening or any kind of excess storage, she can add shelves. It's always nice to have, so I'm just including that. I truly believe in any space that can afford to have a little bit of a pegboard moment should. It just comes in handy for the odds and ends that you don't know where to place, specifically when it's in an area that you don't see, so it's a little out of sight, out of mind. I don't need to be running electrical to here. Jade actually had these battery operated motion lights, and I found one that you can control on a remote, and instead of just kind of putting it up on the framing, I bought a basket from Dollar General, and then I put the light into that onto the wall to add some texture and just a cuter moment than it just being directly on the frame. I just realized it needs 4 more batteries, but it's a light on a little switch. And then the light hangs. I picked up a couple last minute items, and yes, that cactus is held down by earthquake putty. Please don't come at me. But I did add a horseshoe to the door, again, just to add a little bit more of a moment, and then a laundry bag versus a basket sitting on the floor in the desert with sand. So I decided to pick up the bag from Dollar General and just hang that on the shelf that we also got from the dollar store. Look at us go. No matter what the size of the makeover is, or even if you just spend a little bit of time adding a little bit of love to a space, it truly can make all the difference. This is a firsthand experience of just a weekend refresh, just like we did with the backyard. The backyard was free. This is for less than $100 for this refresh and just utilizing some things that I had on hand. You know that I always try to remind you guys that you can DIY within your own means and your own time. I always say your property, your pace, and execute your passion within it. I really hope that you guys enjoy the variety of things we got going on. I feel like I can do a little bit for everybody, but this next round, we're really just diving back into the trailer and executing it in phases rather than rooms. So I will see you very soon for another DIY.